let's just take this nice and slow, one step at a time. Now, when we have, let's say 27 plus 21, again, the normal way that a lot of people would do this is on paper. And a lot of folks, I'm telling you, a lot of folks don't mind at all just going ahead and saying, okay, 27, 21, doing that, and getting 48. Okay, nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with that at all. All I'm going to say is this, everybody. If you feel comfortable enough to do that without hesitating, then I hope that we can at least try to learn how to do it faster. So if you're doing this on paper and pencil, just look at it as 27, add the 20, and then add the 1. You know, if you're having trouble doing it all at once in your head, split it up. So this is a technique called splitting and gluing, and it works whether you're using, operations with addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. It works for all of them. It might work a little bit of a different way, but at the end of the day, it all works just the same. So let me look for one where splitting and gluing will absolutely be required. Right here, number 9. Let's take a look at number 9 here. 36 plus 26. So first of all, actually, let me just make sure I understand who here has never heard of my split and glue technique. You don't have to say no if you already have heard of it, but if you have not heard of my split and glue technique, just say no if you haven't heard of it. All right, sounds good. Looks like today's going to be a very fun class because I haven't done a mental math class in at least 2 months. So some of y'all are going to love this today. Here we go. So we have ourselves 36 plus 26. So the normal way to get this done, a lot of folks would say, hey, 36 plus 26. We take a look here. We have our glasses on, sip some tea. 6 plus 6. Everybody hit me. 6 plus 6. That's going to be what again? Yeah, that's going to be 12 exactly. And so just for the sake of going through the absolute basic steps, what happens to the 1 from the 12? Don't we just write 12, or what do we do with that 1? Since it goes into the next digit, we what? Right, we carry it. We carry it. Okay, so that 1's going to go right over here. And now what we have is 3 plus 2, which is 5. Then you carry the 1, which is going to give us 6. And that's what we have right there. Boom. Cool. Sweet. Perfect. Wonderful. Swell. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the meat and bones of today, man. If we can get this done without putting our pencil to paper, we'll be golden. So here's what I mean, everybody. If we're taking care of 36 plus 26, let's try this out. Let's try it out by like this. Think of it as 36 plus 20 plus 6. Everybody, does that change the problem at all? Like, is this still the same problem or no? Is this still the same problem, or is it something different? Right, it's still the same. It's still the same, everybody. My party people, all I've just done is split 26 into 20 and 6. That's it. Like, this is the same as thinking of, let's say we're helping a friend move, okay? Let's say you're helping a friend move. You get to your friend's house. Let's say your friend's name is, what's a name that nobody has here? Agatha, okay? Let's say you're going to your friend Agatha's house, shout out 1918, and you arrive at your friend Agatha's place, and then what you see is 2 boxes stacked up on top of each other. Now, individually, those boxes aren't even that heavy, but both of them stacked on top of each other, they're pretty heavy. Now, let's say you got yourself a bit of an ego. Dude, David, you're lying. So let's say you got yourself a bit of an ego and you're like, okay, I'm going to try to lift both of these boxes at the same time. You try, it's too heavy. Everybody, what typically happens when you're trying to carry something that's a little too heavy for you? Right. Well, typically, so Oscar, the smart thing is come back and get it. Exactly. But some people might hurt their back. Some people might drop those items and actually break something. And then you waste time. And wasting time is really what we don't want to do. So here's the thing. Instead of picking up both boxes, why not just pick up one box, pick up the other one, end of story. That's what this is. That's all mental math is. You're doing the same task, but in a more efficient manner. That's all mental math is. And everybody here knows how to do mental math. You may not have arranged your brain in the way that it needs to be, but everybody knows how to do mental math. So here we go. We'll add 20. So in your head, you're thinking 36 plus 20. That's 56. Then 56 plus 6, 62. You can take a look at it that way and perform one step at a time to do this mentally. And give yourself, again, an easier time. Another way that you can split this up into an easier addition problem is also like this. You can also think of it as 30 and 20. And that goes, let me just use a different color. Let's use green here. And that goes with 6 plus 6. That's another way that you can think of this as, everybody. That's just another way. And if you see it that way, well, what you'll see next is you'll say, hey, I have myself 30 and 20, that's 50. 6 plus 6 is 12. What's 50 plus 12? Oh, 62. And you're done. And you're done. Because you can split this up, and actually I'm going to write this down the right way here. That's going to be 50 plus 12, and that's still going to be 62. So for anybody here who has never tried mental math out or hasn't tried mental math in quite some time, yes or no, is this beginning to make some sense for you? And I know some of us may be asking, well, what about decimals? What about this and that? Yeah, you can absolutely use mental math for all of that, all of it. Today, we're going to be focusing on the basics and building ourselves up. And we will also be looking at multiplication and division here as well. So there we are, my party people. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of other problems here and try things out. So what I want to do is I want to present to you, let me just zoom on in just a little more here. I'm going to present to you questions 1 through 8. Right there. I'm going to present to you questions 1 through 8. Go ahead. I'm going to give you literally 1 minute. Let me move myself away from this one over here. So I'm going to give you exactly 1 minute and 15 seconds if I can get my timer up and running. There you go. I'm giving you guys 1 minute and 15 seconds. And go ahead and do your best. The timer's a little latent, so there it is, but go. Numbers 1 through 8, minute 15, go. And if you'd like to try it mentally, great. If you still want to stick to pen and paper, again, great, do your thing. I'm only going to invite you. I'm only inviting you to try mental math. Hey, before we get to crushing this problem, just wanted to remind you about my ASVAB All-Access Program. So if you have test anxiety, if you blank out on word problems, if you're frustrated and can't keep a solid study schedule, then this program is there to support you. Long story short, you're going to be able to text me whenever you need help. You get all of the classes and the recording so you can work around your schedule whenever you need to. On top of that, you're going to get access to over 2,000 practice problems that let you learn from every mistake by watching video solutions to those math questions. Not like a textbook where you have to figure it out on your own. On top of that, there are way more features like practice tests, study guides, flashcard sets, all that good stuff. So go ahead, either text me or check out the link either somewhere here in this video or in the description. That way you can keep raising your score and get the job you want, because that's what you're here for at the end of the day. Again, I'm Coach Anderson. Check out the All-Access Program and sign up, and then keep going, watching this video so you can keep crushing it. I'll see you there. This one is very straightforward. This will just be 25. That'll be 25. So 46 minus 21, no worries, Millie. Glad to have you today. So 46 minus 21, well, you can subtract 20, 26, then subtract 1, 25. You don't need to put your pencil to paper is what I'm saying. Again, that's what I want to make sure you see here. So 48 minus 37, everybody. Some people might be able to look at this and tell instantly that we have a good answer here. And that answer is going to be 11. Clearly, we're good. Because here again, with this one, not much mental math needed. Because here's the way that mental math works, everybody. Mental math gives you the opportunity to, when you think about borrowing ones and carrying ones, mental math allows you to think of it in a way that you don't spend time doing that. Okay? That's what this is. Number 4 over here. 16 plus 27. So let me show you how mental math can work for you. So everybody think of it like this. The 16 is 10 plus 6. The 27, that's 20 and 7. Now, all I want you to do is think of it in this way. Go ahead and think about the tens place right over here, 10 and 20, and that's 30. And then when you take a look at the 6 and the 7, add those together. Everybody, 6 plus 7, that's all you need to know. What's 6 plus 7? Help me out. Exactly, just gonna be 13. Just gonna be 13. And so really what you've just done is you've turned this from 16 plus 27 to 30 plus 13. Everybody, which one's going to be easier? Again, which one is easier to you as you look at it? 16 plus 27 or 30 plus 13? Which one's easier? Right, the 30 plus 13. And who here can tell me why the 30 plus 13 is easier? Who can tell me why? Give me in the chat box. Come on, who can tell me why? Why is 30 plus 13 easier to deal with? Ken? Yeah, less steps. What do you mean smaller? They're about the same size. 30 and 27 are pretty close together. 16 and 13, pretty close together. I love that. Who said it right there? There it is. There it is. Armani, appreciate you. So everybody, what Armani said, I'm going to reiterate it. Armani says, look, it's easier to look at numbers with the zeros in them. Everybody, do you agree or disagree with that? It is easier to deal with numbers with addition or subtraction. It's easier to deal with them when there are zeros involved. It is easier to deal with when there are zeros involved. Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Armani. I appreciate that. You're good to go. So let's go ahead and keep going forward here. The answer is 43. Next up. Number 5. We have 49 minus 38. This one will still be 11. No mental math needed. Not much at all. Because you can subtract the 30, then subtract the 8. No big deal there. You're good. Now, up next. 39 plus 17. Well, we checked this out. Everybody, if you wanted to do this straight up, again, you could absolutely do that. 39 plus 17. You add those together. 9 plus 7, that's going to give me 16. Then you have 3 plus 1, which is 4. Carry the 1, that's 5. And so it's going to be 56. So, everyone, here's how mental math can help you out. You can look at this and you can say, hey, 39 plus 17. One way to deal with this is say, hey, 30 plus 10. 30 plus 10, and that's 40. And then 9 plus 7, and that's going to be 16. You can turn the problem from 39 plus 17 to 40 plus 16. And from here, that's going to give you 56. Just like that. Now, if you notice, one of the complaints that typically I hear about people trying to learn mental math for the first time is, well, coach, I need to be faster at knowing what 9 plus 7 is. Well, here's the thing. No, you don't. You don't. I mean, I want to be very real with you. You should be, and you should always be striving to get faster and faster and faster, but that has nothing, if you know how to do it, then it has nothing to do with your ability to not do mental math. How do I know that? Everybody, here we did 9 plus 7. Guess what we just did here? 9 plus 7. And here it takes you longer because you actually have to write it down. So I'm just really trying to make sure that you understand me here when I say you already know mental math. It's just about the way you arrange the steps. So as opposed to just focusing on the ones and then the tens, focus on the tens and then the ones, and you're good. And you can see that it can give you a little bit extra time as more and more and more that you do it. So with that here, let's go to number 7. Oops, that's gonna be over here. Number 7, 40 plus 35. I'm pretty sure this is the hardest question I gave you today. So this one's gonna be 75. Hardest one I'm gonna give you all day. And then from here, moving into number 8, 7 plus 48. This is the situation where you just have to know what 7 plus 8 is. 7 plus 8 is 15, so it's going to be 55. Or 40 plus 15 once you break it down. And we're good. And then number 9, already done for us. We did that earlier. And number 10, we are at 36 minus 28. One way that you can do mental math, everybody, is like this. You can go ahead and actually give yourself a slightly more convenient path. And so what I'm going to show you is, yes, this is going to be with smaller numbers. And honestly, you could probably do this in your head if you wanted to very quickly. But if you were having trouble seeing it in your head, here's how you can see it. You can start with the 36, and you can go ahead and subtract 20, and then subtract 8. Everybody, question. If I take away 20 and then take away 8, is that the same as taking away 28? Is that the same? Right? Absolutely is. Absolutely is. And so with that said, we're not doing anything illegal here. We're not doing anything crazy. We're not. What we need to understand here is that this gives us a way to see it in a more confident way and in a way that we can trust ourselves with. Because 36 minus 20, that's going to be 16. And everybody, what's 16 minus 8? 8. 16 minus 8, that's going to be 8, and we are done. Just like that. So that's the idea, everybody. Give yourself the convenience of the situation. Give yourself the convenience when you see it. So what I'm going to challenge everyone to do here is I'm going to challenge everybody to go ahead and try this next set out in your head completely. Splitting and gluing works with addition and subtraction. All splitting and gluing means is splitting up one number or both of the numbers into smaller steps. Don't try to pick up all the boxes at once, one box at a time, until you know that you're strong enough to do 2 at a time, until you're strong enough to do 3 at a time. But start with 1, and then we'll move forward from there. So here we go. Let's go ahead and zoom on out over here. And I'm going to give you guys the opportunity. We'll start straight up at number 13 here. So it's 13 through 24 right there. So that should be a total of 12 problems here. So I'll give you the whole minute and a half on this one. Let's go. 47 plus 14. So 47 plus 14, my party people. Split that up. Split it up nice and easy. So here I'll split this up into 47 plus 10 plus 4. Or some of you might have done this as 40 plus 10 plus 7 plus 4. Either way, they both work. They both absolutely work, because what you can do is you can say 47 plus 10 is 57 plus 4 is 61. The only thing you really need to know, everybody, when you get to this step, when you get to 57 plus 4, some of y'all freak out and you're like, I mean, I know what 7 plus 4 is, but what's 57 plus 4? All you got to do is just go up to the next digit. The moment that you know that this adds up to more than 10 or 10 or more, just change that to the next digit. So 57 goes to 61. You just have to know what number it's supposed to end in. 7 and 4 is 11, ends in a 1, 61. Who here thinks about it that way? You only need to think about the number it ends in and then just go up on the other digit. Who here thinks of it that way? Right on. Right on. And if you don't think about it that way, again, there's like 70 million different ways to think about it. But one of the more popular ways is that way, where you just say 7 and 4, there's a 1 at the end because that's 11. Just go up a digit. Just go up the digit on this number. That's going to become a 1. Here we go. Now this, in this way, that's 50. That's 11. And that makes it a little easier to see it as a 61. Next up. 15, I'm just going to do this one right now since it's right there, super easy. And 50 plus 5, 55. And you're going to see that some problems are going to be easy like that. Again, some problems are going to be easy, and that's okay. Now, 29 plus 29. Now, I think this is a good opportunity for me to show you all of the different ways that you can really take advantage of what mental math really is. Again, everybody, mental math is simply a way to take less time doing the same thing. It's just about convenience. So instead of writing this out as 29 plus 29, maybe you can think about it as 20 plus 20, that's 40. 9 plus 9 is 18, and that becomes 58. Think about it like that in your head. Think about it like that in your head. 20 plus 20 plus 18, 40 plus 18, 58, done. And you can do that faster than you can actually write this down. You can do that faster than you can write this down. Now, there's one other way to think about this, and this is what I want to start introducing to you. Again, mental math is a language. You can speak it however you'd like once you learn how it works. Watch this, everybody. Move that over there. Everybody, again, talking about convenience over here. 29 is really close to what number? 29 is awfully close to what number, man? That's going to be 30. Exactly. Yeah, 29 is really, really close to 30. Sorry, I was reading some of these comments asking, will you take the test for me? One, this is being recorded, so under penalty of law, I cannot take your test for you. If you buy me enough burrito bowls, though, Chipotle, I got you. Joking, not going to do that. So that's the only temptation that I'll ever consider. So here, checking this out here, 29 is really close to 30. So everyone, if I were to go ahead and just add 1 right over here, I got to make sure that this stays balanced, right? So if I just magically add a 1 to make it a 30, what should I do to the 29? So again, keep it balanced. If I added 1 there where there was no 1 to take from anywhere, well, I got a debt now, right? I got to get that 1 from somewhere else. And remember, everybody, this right here, what I'm writing, this is not what you're actually writing. This is how you're just thinking about it. I just want you to remember this. Mental math is mental. I'm only writing on the screen so that I can actually convey what I'm trying to say. So here, if I wanted to turn that 29 to a 30, and I'm supposed to be adding that other 29, well, basically what I did is I just borrowed a 1 from that 29. So basically, you took a 1 from here and you put it over there. That's all that was. That's all that was. So you can turn 29 plus 29 into 30 plus 28. That's a lot easier to look at because that becomes 58. Yes or no? Did that make sense, everybody? If you want, if you see that you're really, really close to a convenient number, go to that number. Just make sure to balance it and offset it. Just make sure to balance it. That's it. Just make sure to balance it. That is no different than having a bunch of popsicle sticks like laid out on your desk. And then you're like, okay, I got 5 here and 5 here. I can take 1 from here and put it there. And now I have 6 and I have 4. Either way, 5 plus 5 is 10. 6 plus 4 is 10. 7 plus 3 is 10. 8 plus 2 is 10. 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 plus 0 is 10. You can move the sticks around. You can move the numbers around however you'd like to. Seriously, you can do it however you'd like to. Callie, oh my Lord, yes, that's another way to, yes, thank you, Callie. You are starting to understand how mental math works. You can get creative too in your approach. So Callie, let me go ahead and reiterate exactly what Callie did. Callie, you're a boss for this. Let me go ahead and show you guys what Callie just did. So Callie says, hey, coach, since they're both really close to 30, couldn't I just like make this one 30, make this one 30? But because I took a 1 or added a 1 there and added a 1 there, I got to kind of make up for it. So couldn't I just subtract 2 at the end? Everybody, would that work? Would that work? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. That's 58. That's 58. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. So let me go ahead and really blow some minds really quick. Everybody, do you love dealing with decimals, particularly money word problems? Who here is a fan of decimals and money word problems? Come on, go ahead. Who's a fan of it? Who is a fan of money word problems and decimals? Nobody? Okay, I see some choice words there. Let's go ahead and keep it PG, guys. So yeah, thank you for direct messaging me, private messaging me, and not saying it in front of everybody. So yeah, exactly. So it looks like some people here want to throw hands with whoever made decimals. But here's the idea, everybody. Look, let me show you why mental math is so awesome. Let's take a look at this example here. Let's say you're dealing with a problem that's saying, hey, you bought this item at the grocery store for $1.99, and then you also bought another item at the store that was worth, let's go ahead and say, I don't know, $7.99, because everything at the store always has to end in 99 cents, right? Okay, cool. So honestly, think of it like this. Let me turn this into $2. Let me turn that into $8. And then I'm just going to take away both of those pennies. There's a penny here, and there's a penny here. Take them away. Just take them away. 2 plus 8, that's $10. And then if I take away literally 2 cents, take away 2 pennies from $10, I think we can all agree that we've dealt with money before, and that's a lot easier than doing $1.99 plus $7.99. That'll be just $9.98. Just like that. And again, this is all happening in our heads. This is all just how we want to think of it in our heads. $1.99 plus $7.99, that's just $2 and $8, so $10. Take away 2 pennies, $9.98. Done. As opposed to doing the torture, and I mean torture, of this. That is absolute torture. So why would we want to do that and say, okay, 9 plus 9 is 18, carry the 1. 9 plus 9 is 18, carry the 1. There's a 9. 1 plus 7 is 8, carry the 1. That is 9. Oh, let me make sure I don't forget my decimals. Right, bam, bam, 9.98. Yeah. Okay, great. I could have done my taxes by the time you would have finished that. That's the thing. TurboTax, shout out. But yeah, you can do your taxes faster than someone can write that down and actually get it done if you know your mental math. Okay? If you know your mental math, we can get it done in a much, much faster way. So yes or no, everybody, are we feeling pretty good about our ability here to see the usefulness of mental math? Appreciate you. I'll take a quick question here from Elijah. What's up, Elijah? Go ahead.
So, I mean, I think your class is outstanding, and I love the way that you explain things and break things down so it's more easier instead of being frustrated how the question is. I also learned how to get mental math a lot better and faster by testing myself. I have this app on my phone called Mental Math. It gives you 1 minute and 30 seconds and answer as many questions, and it'll give you your score.
Are you talking about Mental Math flashcards by Nicholas McNamara?
Something like that.
Yeah, it has like 3 cards back to back. Yeah.
And it has it what we're talking about today, all math operations, like you choose it. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds to answer as many questions you can. So like at the end, it'll give you a score. So you had like 45 questions, you only answer 36. You got to get 80 out of that whole time you tested. So like it tests you to work faster and like work your mind faster.
Hey, I'm here for it, man, because I actually made an entire video on that exactly. So I'm actually going to pull it up right over here. I made a whole video on the whole app here. So let me just pull it up and I'll put the link in the chat box for everybody to see. So Mental Math Your Hand Learning. Let me just get this on YouTube and I will put this up for y'all. So where are you at? I have so many mental math videos, Jesus. Well, if you guys aren't taking advantage of my YouTube channel, now would be a great time because I have a ton of stuff on here. So let me just look up the app here. There we go. Speeding up your mental math and the card games and tips. What's going on, ASVAB party people? Anderson here, your ASVAB. Do I really sound like that? Okay, cool. So here we go, everybody. Here's the app. Here's the video I put up on YouTube. And this is that right there. Sweet. So everybody go ahead and click that link here in the chat box. That's a video on YouTube that I made. That's exactly about that app that Elijah's talking about. I basically give you a rundown on how it works, how to use it. That way you can take what you learned today and practice it in the future. Now, I do have a full program, and I'll talk about the full program in a couple of moments and stuff like that. But honestly, mental math would be something that we can all master without having to pay for it. Okay, so there's that. Check it out. Now, let's keep moving forward here. The other answers, I'm just going to put up the answers because I want to get another round of practice in. So for number 19, that's going to be 9. For number 20, 46. For number 21, 22. For number 22, imagine if it was 23. So for number 22, here, there we go. Now some mental math. We can go ahead and bring the 10 in first to make 46 plus 9. Then add the 9 in. 9 plus 6 is 15, so 55. Again, you can do that in your head, okay? You can do it in your head. So here's the link one more time, everybody, to that mental math video. Booyah. All right, so I'll give you guys the option here. Who here wants to stick with 2-digit numbers? Who here wants to elevate this to 3-digit numbers? Who wants to elevate it to 3, or who wants to stay at these 2? Cool. And remember, if you have choice words, if you are saying, man, this scares the bleep out of me, please don't try to write that for everybody to see. If you want to direct message me that, sure, I'll get a little kick out of it, get a little laugh out of it, and I can stay officially licensed. All right, so let's go ahead and try out 3. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put up this right here. All right, so the 3-digit numbers start off at problem 51. So I'm showing you problems 43 to 54. So this is another set of 12 problems. Yes, Carrie Ann, we do have to keep it PG. So here we go. Go ahead here and try this out. You got 12 here. I'm going to give you a minute and a half again. Try as many as you'd like to out. So starting now, I'm getting that timer going here. So 3 digits. Go ahead. How are you going to handle this? Let me get my face out of the way. I'm just gonna go ahead and list out the answers here. Let me actually just make sure you can see it all. So I'll just give you the answers. 3, 47, 46, 34, and that's gonna be 45. That's gonna be 85. That's gonna be 10, and that's gonna be 4. So the only one that I really had to even think about for a brief moment with mental math was right here. That was the only one I had to briefly think about with mental math. And cool. Now, everybody, if you're here asking, hey, why should I, or excuse me, if you've tried these problems out with the idea or the intention that you have to use mental math, like with that assumption, that's the reason why I'm giving you easy problems and mental math problems mixed in. I need to do this. Oh, 1 second. There we go. Cool. All right, sorry about that. I just had to take care of that. That was something I had to be attention for. But the idea is this. If you're learning something and then you assume that you're always going to be using that one thing, then I wouldn't be an effective teacher. I want you to train you with mental math as not as something you always have to use, but something that you can recognize that you can use whenever you want to. That's the idea. Recognize you can use it and then take advantage of it. So with that, when we take a look at 47, that's really going to be the only one. That's really the only one here that I saw that mental math was really necessary for. And so you have here, you can turn this into, again, 2 different ways. Some of my advanced party people will go like this. Oh, let me take 1 from the 26 and put it with the 19 to think of this as 25 plus 20. And that's how I got 45. Some other people here would think of this as, oh, 20 plus 10, 30, plus 6 plus 9, and that's going to be 15, and that's 45. And some of us went ahead and added it straight up and down. Some of us used other techniques as well. So answer this, everybody, green or purple? Which one were you in this particular problem? Were you green or purple? I use mental math in the store now. You should. You should. If you're using green and this is your first mental math class with me, yes. I mean, that means something good is happening. because you're starting to see mental math as a way of, again, convenience and not something that's like rigid and you can't change. Mental math is really fluid, man. It's really fluid. So let's go ahead and move forward here. Number 51. All right. Who here avoided doing the 3-digit problems simply because you were like, nah, homie, I'm good? All right. All right, let's check these out. Not today, you still tried them? Good. Good. I like the tenacity. So here's how we can treat mental math, everybody. In this sense, honestly, are we going to be carrying a 1 when it comes to the 2 and the 7? Are we going to be carrying a 1 there? No, right? You're not going to be carrying. You're good. You're good. So remember, with mental math, it's not about doing 2 big steps all at once. It's about breaking it down into 2 or more smaller steps. We're not doing one huge thing at once. We're breaking it down into smaller steps. So we can treat it like this. If we know that the 7 and the 2 is not going to bother us, just put them together. Just put them together. So then make it 60 plus 489. Because from here, guess what, everybody? Just think of it like this. I'm going ahead and adding this here, the 60. So remember, 6 is in the 10th place. 6 with 48. Everybody, what's 6 plus 48? What's 6 plus 48? What is 6 plus 48? And if you're hesitating and you're feeling like, man, I don't know this very well, that's a sign that you need to practice. That's a sign that you need to practice. Yes, 6 plus 48 is 54. And so with that here becomes 54. And remember, you still have the 0 and 9. A 0 is really fun to deal with because you don't have to do anything. 549. So to drag things out, really long story short, I looked at the 48 and the 6 because they were in the same place. Boom, make that 54, add the 2 and 7 together, and you're good. And if that, again, was a little confusing, let's just try this next one out. Let's take a look at 3 digits and 3 digits. So what I'm saying here is, everybody, here, look at this. I have 8 and 0. I have 8 and 0. Do I have to worry about that, everybody? Do I have to worry about that? Much, if at all? No, I don't think you have much to worry about because you're adding, there's a 0 in there. I think we're pretty safe. Now, here's the thing. Really what we're adding is this 44 and 39. That's really what we're adding. That's what we got to take care of. So there's 2 different ways you can think about this. So first I'm going to do it. First, I want to think about this in terms of, hey, do I know what 44 plus 39 is off the top of my head? And if not, then we can break it down even further. So with this, everybody, what's another way to write 44 plus 39 with mental math? Someone please. Right on, Ken. Yeah, 43 plus 40. Same deal. Same deal. Take 1 from the 44, put it with the 39. You got yourself 43 plus 40, a much easier predicament. So 43 plus 40 becomes what? 83. 83, but what you had over here, 8 and 0, boom, 838, done. Now, that's not the only way I'm going to do it. Obviously, we want to do it with the complete splitting and glue way. So I'm going to show you that as well. So let me just take this over here. Actually, take all of this. And now let me show you, again, the more traditional way, what I've been teaching you from the very beginning here. Here's what you can do. You can take this as 400 and 700. Then you can take this as 40 and 90. And then you can take this as 8 plus 0. So you have yourself a huge operation, right? 3-digit plus 3-digit, but you can break it down into, again, a bunch of convenient steps. A bunch of convenient steps. Who here prefers to do it that way, to see it that way? Who here prefers to break it down that way? I already put the sum right there. Appreciate it. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, right here, 300. Appreciate you. But yeah, you get the point, right? So if you prefer to see it that way, guess what? You give yourself a much, much easier opportunity, because this becomes 700, 130, and 8. Everybody, it's 700 plus 130, 830. 830 plus 8, 838. So this is how I would do it live. Let me go and follow along with me here. The way that I would do this live is like this: 400, 300, so 700, 700, 790, 830, 838, right there. 838 is the answer. That's how I would really look at it and break it down. So just to prove a point, let me go ahead and take a look at another addition one if we have one nearby. Let's do, let's do this one, 55. Everybody, here's how I take care of it. 162, add the 4, got 562. Add the 80, I know 6 and 8 makes a 4. So I have 500, 640, 646, done. And the only reason it took me that long is because I had to actually say it. But everybody, yes or no, do we see the point of this? Where we can start with this number, and we can just start with the 4 to make it 562. Then you can take the 8 to make it 642. And then you can grab the last 4 with it to make it 646. That's another way to look at it. That's another way. Take the hundreds place first, then the tens, then the ones. So many of us are used to adding the ones and adding the tens and adding the hundreds. No, you can do whatever you want, man. You can do whatever you want when it comes to mental math. You can start with whatever place value you want. Does not matter. So I'll let you guys take an opportunity here, take a picture of that, because that's another way to think of mental math that's really helpful in my opinion. All right, great. So let's take a look at this next one here. We're going to do subtraction in a moment. Subtraction now. I think it's important to do it now. So 403 minus 135. Taylor, you're late to the party. Did you bring apple juice? All right, so let's go ahead and check this out here. 403 minus 135. So yes or no, currently as it is right now, are you comfortable with doing subtraction mental math here? Yes or no? Are you comfortable doing subtraction mental math here? Especially with something like a 403, right? Now you got to do a lot of borrowing there, right? You got to do a lot of borrowing. Got to do a lot of borrowing. I see some maybes. Okay, some pretty good, some nods, some no's. Hey, Andrew. Okay, if you said yeah, you can't say yeah now. No, I'm kidding. All right, so here we go. Let's check it out. We have 403 minus 135. Here's how we can take this over with mental math, everybody. We can go ahead and do this. I can go ahead and just take 403. Everybody, what's 403 minus 100? What's 403 minus 100? Minus 100. Right, we're subtracting, David. That's right, we're subtracting here. So that's going to be 303, right? 303. But now it's going to be 303 minus 35. Now, here's how we can make it easier, everybody. Next, instead of subtracting 35, subtract 30. How about that? Subtract 30. Everybody, what's 303 minus 30? And ignore the last 3. Just think about 300 minus 30. What's 300 minus 30? What's 300 minus 30? Who can help me out there? What's 300 minus 30? Millie, 270. You can think of it as 30 minus 3. 30 minus 3, 27, or 270 in this case. One more time, let me repeat that. If I just wanted to subtract the 30 here, because again, that's 35, you can subtract that. Okay, that's the tens place. Here's our hundreds and ten place. So 30 minus 3, that's 27. And then bring that other 3 back. And so now this becomes 273 minus 5. And so in that case, okay, wait, 273 minus 5, that'll be 268. You can take away 3, then take away 2, because that's what 5 is. If you wanted to break it down like that, you could just say, that's an easier way to think about it. Because if you take away 3 and take away 2, that's the same as taking away 5. And this helps you avoid carrying or borrowing a 1, right? This helps you avoid borrowing a 1, and you can get right down to the answer, 268. So for those of you that were saying the answer is 332, not sure where that came from, but again, it is my job to help you out here. So with that, I got you. So Excel, hey, don't worry. Excel, no worries at all, because I'm going to do this next one right here, 59, and then I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to try another round of problems out, okay? So let's break this one down right here. 412 minus 167. Let's try this out. So Excel, what I'm going to do here, the technique I'm using here is I'm going to go ahead and break this down 1 digit at a time in my head. So everybody follow along. If I first wanted to take away the 100, not the entire 167, just the 100, what would that be? What would that be? If I took away 100 first, 412 becomes what? $412 becomes 312, exactly. 412 becomes 312. And now we're taking away just 67. Before I continue, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page here. Everybody, yes or no? Do you understand how we went from 412 to 312? We did that by just taking away that big chunk, the big 100 first. Just doing that in our heads. That's all we're doing. Just taking it 1 digit at a time. Okay, great. Now, so Excel, I want to make sure you understand this here. I got you. Don't worry, I got you. I got you. I got you. So 167 Excel, I want you to think of 167. Excel, let me know if this makes sense. 167 is the same as saying 100, 60, and 7. Do you agree with that, Excel? Do you agree with that? 167 is the same as 100, 60, and 7. So that's all I'm doing. I'm basically keeping a scoreboard here and saying, okay, let me take away 100 first. Then I can take away the 7 or the 60. It doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't matter. Just take it away. Just take it away. And so up next, if I wanted to, let me just show you how fluid this can be. Excel, I got you. I can take away the 7 if I wanted to. If I wanted to take away the 7, in my head, 312 minus 7, that's going to be 305. Oh, but I still have 60 to take away. But it's really a matter here, Excel, and everybody else. It's really a matter of going down the path that you feel is easiest. That's really it. Going down the path that you feel is easiest. So now that we're here, 305 minus 60, everybody, just think of it like this. The 5 minus the 0, that's not going to matter. What's 300 minus 60? Or 30 minus 6? What is that? What's 30 minus 6? That's 24. Yeah, 30 minus 6. If I just think about the tens place, everybody, the 30 and the 6, that's 24. So I'm just going to write 2, 4, but then remember, I had 5 minus 0, which is 5. And boom, you're good. Boom, 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 boom. And we're set. And so everybody, per my last email, mental math is awesome. Okay. And again, I am not here as like some messiah of it. Like a lot of people use this, a lot of people teach this, but we just have to take the time to actually get used to it. You can get excited all you want about it today, and I'm proud of you for being here. But remember, if you don't take this open door and actually walk through it and choose to open the door for yourself and walk through every day, then eventually that door is going to close and lock up again until you open it back up. So while the door is open, build this habit of mental math. Walk through and through and through. And so, Krishan, the 305 came from, instead of me subtracting the 60, I just said, hey, let me just subtract the 7. I'm good. That's all I said. So I want to show you guys one more way to do the same exact problem. I want to show you one more way to do the same exact problem. So I'm going to keep it there. And give me a yes or a no. Who here would consider themselves ready for advanced mental math? Who here would say, I'm ready for advanced mental math? And be honest. If it's not you, it's not you. If it's not you, just say nope. If I see at least 5 people say yeah, then I'm going to go ahead and show this technique. Okay, cool. So this technique with mental math requires you to know subtraction. If you build up your subtraction skills to this point, I'm telling you right now, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, all of it's going to be so dang easy that you're going to be sitting here doing the math before your mind has an opportunity to think about it. Watch. Look at this. So the same problem, 412 minus 167. Okay, who here knows how far away 167 is to 200? Who can tell me the exact number? How far away is 167 from 200? How far is it away? 33. Thank you. So for those of us that said 33, check this out. I can say that we have 412. Let me just not think about 167. That is disgusting. I don't like 3 different numbers and 3 different digits. Get out of here, bro. I'm going to go ahead and say, let me just subtract 200. But oh, wait, I took away 33 too much, right? 200 is 33 way too much that I took away. So in my head, let me just remember to put 33 back. Why is that helpful, everybody? Well, guess what? My name is Mr. Duran, and I'm going to be your math teacher today. 412 minus 200 is 212. I think we can all agree with that. And if we add 33 back to it, oh, in my head, that becomes 245. Oh, look at that. And there it is. And there it is. So yes or no, did that make sense to anybody out there? Did that make sense to anybody out there? Because I'm telling you, the reason that I'm really heavily focusing on 3-digit numbers right now is because money. That's why. Those money word problems are going to get you. Just because it has a decimal in there does not mean it's not 3 digits. It is. So with that, you need to practice more, Haley. That's what I like to hear. And don't say I need to practice more. And I'm being very serious when I say this, Haley. I would prefer that we say, I want to practice this more. I want to practice this more. I want to get better at this, not I have to do it. Because when you say you have to do something, it feels like a chore. When you say that I want to do something, it feels like you get to do it. So let's go ahead and move forward here. Tony, it's okay? Simone, it's okay. It's all good. We'll try this out in the future very, very soon. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to try numbers 60 through 70. Let me go ahead and get my face out of the way here. And I'm going to give us a little more time now. I'm going to put the timer up. I'm going to give us this time, not 3 minutes, 30 seconds. I'm going to give us, well, I don't want to change that there. So I'll give us 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I fully expect you to try out, at the very least, everybody, at the very least, try out 4 of these with mental math. You can do it on paper and then try to confirm your answer with mental math, but go ahead. Look, let's be honest. If you want to go ahead and lower test anxiety, if you want to stop blanking out on word problems and actually understand how to use formulas instead of just memorizing them and not knowing what to do, then you need a program that's going to support you all the way. So a program that basically lets you text your coach whenever you need them, a program that allows you to go to classes and watch all the recordings, a program that gives you access to thousands of extra practice problems with video solutions, a program that gives you much, much more than that with practice tests, study guides, and more. That's exactly what you're going to need. Again, I'm Coach Anderson. Reach out to me, shoot me a text, or click the link in the video here to go ahead and learn about my ASVAB All-Access Program. It's everything my students use to raise their scores to get the jobs they want, so feel free to check it out so that way you can get in on the action too. I'll see you in there. So 434 plus 71. Everybody, a good way to look at this with mental math is this. You can look at this as 430 plus 70. Everybody, what's 430 plus 70? What is that going to be? That looks pretty convenient, right? What's that going to be? Right, that's 500. That's 500. You can do that in your head. That's 500. And then you have 4 plus 1. That's 5, so you get 505. 505, nice and easy. Nice and easy. And as we go through these and you found yourself correct, just give yourself a yurt in the chat box and we will keep going. So 61, we have 227 plus 182. So I love it. So with that, my party people, check this out now. Check this out. I'm going to take a look at this and I'm going to say, hey, we got 200 and we have 100. And again, I'm just writing this out because this is what you want to start thinking of in your head. So up next, we have ourselves 20 and 80. And here you can think of this as 7 and 2. So that's just gonna be 9. But now that I wrote this out, let me just take it really from the top. We have 200 and 100. So that's 300. 20 and 80 is another 100. So before, again, I already had 300. Now I'm at 400, and then that's 7 plus 2 is 9, 409, all done. You can and should be thinking of it in that way. So I just wrote this out to show you the process. 200 and 100, 300, another 100, that's 400, 409, and that's how you can get 409. Right there. And another way that you can think of it, exactly. So story, I love that. I love that, love that, love that. So story, Daniels, appreciate you. So literally what you did was you understand what 22 plus 18 is. You know what that is. You know that's 40, because in this case, that'll be 400. And so again, as you get better at this and get more comfortable with it, you'll naturally start noticing that I don't have to focus on only one digit at a time. I can focus on 2 digits at a time. 220, 180, that's 400, 407, 409. Just like that. Yeah. Oscar, you did the 22 plus 18? Yeah. Again, same deal. Same deal. You're good. Same deal. Let's check out 62 here. 62, we have 318 minus 301. We can eyeball that one because you can basically say 300 minus 300, gone. 18 minus 1, 17. Next up, 498 minus 399. Did anyone here use the convenience of the 399? Did anybody here use that? Armani, you added? Well, Armani, go ahead, see yourself out. Turn off Zoom, turn off your computer, turn it back on and come back in. That might have been the error. But I see some of us saying that we noticed the 399 convenience, and we have other people laughing at my jokes. Appreciate y'all. So with that, I'll be here all night. So 498 minus 399, everybody think of it like this. If I'm trying to take away 399, why don't I just take away 400 and then give you a penny back or give you $1 back? Why not just do that? Right? Instead of taking away 399, just take away 400 and put $1 back. So that's exactly what I'll do. So 498 minus 400 plus 1. I'm just going to add the 1 back. And so that'll end up being right here. That'll end up being 98 plus 1, which is 99. Boom. So Tiffany, you ended up doing it another way and you still got 99. That's good. Absolutely good. All right, so here we go. More brain scrambling. So why would you add 1? Wait, what happened, coach? So the reason that you add 1 back is like this. So Itzel and everybody else, think of it like this. I'm gonna give a very relatable example. Not because of the situation, but for the numbers, since it's smaller numbers. So let's go ahead and say, you know, you have a friend and that friend owes you, let's say that friend owes you $9, right? If that friend owes you $9 and you end up taking $10 back, well, you got to give them $1 back, right? You got to return $1 because your friend didn't owe you $10. He only owed you 9. So instead of taking the 9, you took 10, but you gave a $1 bill back. That's exactly what this is. Somebody owed you $399. They paid you with $400 total in bills. And you just said, okay, cool. You paid me $1 too much. Here's $1 back. That's exactly what just happened here. That's exactly what just happened. So yes or no, does that make any more sense there, Priscilla? Let me know. Let me know. Because again, it takes repetition. It takes repetition for this for sure. And so if you're not seeing it quite yet here, again, just keep trying to understand from a different angle. And again, give yourself that opportunity. Cool. Again, Excel kind of is better than lost, right? You were lost before, kind of seeing some things now. And then I want you to pinpoint, hey, where am I good? Where am I bad? What can I do? So what I'll do is I'll go ahead. I'm going to give us the answers for the rest of these. I think we just went up to 70. And then I'll give you guys the vote, whether you want to try one more round or go straight into multiplication. But here we go. Let me show you the rest of these. So here, 64. 64 is going to be 750, 66. 766. 65, that's going to end up being 333. I'm doing these live, so if I get any of these wrong, go ahead and correct me, please, and thank you. So 66, 226 plus 89 is going to be 315. 98 minus 88, oh, that's tough. That's going to be 10. 68, that's going to end up being 71 minus 8. So that's going to be 63. And then over here, 421 plus 109, that's going to end up being 521, 530. And then 70 right behind my face, that's going to end up being 240 minus 85, so that'll be 155. Cool. So I'm pretty sure I got all these right. I just checked my work. Yep, I just checked my work. It should be good and everything. But again, if I made a mistake, let me know. But those are the answers here. So check that work. How many wrong did you get? So only the ones that you've tried, okay? Only the ones you tried. Which ones did you get? How many did you get wrong? Out of the ones that you tried, not the other ones. If you didn't try it, then don't worry about it. Cool. All right, then that's fine. That's fine, because the goal is to become more accurate. And so take a look at that. If you got 5 wrong out of 5, well, then next time try to get only 4 wrong, or 3, then 2. It's about progress here. So with that, I'll let you guys take a vote. Would you guys want to try another round of 3-digit addition and subtraction? Or would you like to move forward and see how mental math with multiplication can make your life a lot easier? Multiplication, multiplication, multiple, multiplication, more forward, multi-step, multiplication, move forward. Okay, sounds good. Sweet. So I'm glad you guys got a good flow of this. And for those of you who are in the program, remember that in the math bootcamp, we have speed drill sets. So remember, everybody, what a speed drill is where you can redo the same exam over and over again. New questions, it's timed. It'll tell you how many you got right and wrong and all that good stuff, okay? So that's how you can practice this more and more and more. All right, so let's go ahead here and move forward into multiplication. So with multiplication, right over here, let me just take this empty page. Let's talk about multiplication here. So everybody, let's go ahead and talk about, let's do this. Let's do 15. Let's do 15 times 3. Who here knows what 15 times 3 is off the top of their head? Who knows what 15 times 3 is off the top of their head? Who knows? Who's done it enough? Okay, I see a lot of 35s, a lot of 45s. I'm going to give you guys maybe 10, 15 seconds. Go ahead and debate amongst yourselves. Can you figure this out? Is it 35 or 45? You let me know. Come on. Come on, do right by me. Got to be 45, got to be 35. Let's see, come on. Still some debate. It's 45, okay? Yeah, it's 45. It is 45. I had enough time to eat a whole watermelon. So when we do it the traditional way, everybody, think of it like this. We go 5 times 3, and that's going to be 15. Carry the 1. And then we have 1 times 3, that's 3. Carry that 1 is 4. So that would be 45. Okay, great. Now, let's think of mental math. Again, as something that's going to be convenient for us. So everyone, isn't it true that, again, when you think about 3 times 15, Is it true that 15 is just the same thing as saying 10 plus 5? Isn't that true? Isn't 15 just the same as 10 plus 5? Isn't that the case? Right? 15 is just the same thing as saying 10 plus 5. Now, everybody, this is what we're doing. We're splitting and gluing. We're splitting and gluing. Everybody, what's 3 times 10? What is 3 times 10? I think we all know what that is, right? 30. We're confident. And then what is 3 times 5? What's that going to be? Oh, 15. Everybody, so here's what mental math just did for us. We turned a problem like 3 times 15 into an addition problem, 30 plus 15. That's what we did. And 30 plus 15 is what, everybody? Yeah, 45. 45, 45, nice and easy. 45, nice and easy. Now, this is not, the easiest thing you'll do, not by a long shot. And that's why it's very, very, very important to understand your mental math, because you can do problems like this now with no problem at all. Watch this, everybody. Who here that has not done mental math with me before, who here would take a little while to do something like 19 times, let's say 7? Who here would take a while to do 19 times 7? Right? That might take a while. Might take a little bit of time. That might. But the great thing about learning the mental math with addition is that it translates to multiplication. It absolutely does. Watch this. 19 times 7. Well, if you do it the traditional way, I'm not even going to show you. I'm going to show you it like this. 7 times 19 is the same thing as saying 7 times 10 plus 9. Everybody, just do it like this. In your head, 7 times 10 is what? 7 times 10 is what? In my head, that's 70. Okay. And then 7 times 9. In my head, what's 7 times 9? Oh, I know my multiplication tables, that's 63. Okay, great. And so from there, everybody, what's 70 plus 63? You can think of it right here. 7 plus 6, what is that? 7 plus 6 is 13. So that's 130. And then 3. And so if you have developed your mental math with addition and subtraction, this becomes a little easier. But you see, everybody, do you see how translating, or do you see how practicing your mental math with addition and subtraction translates to multiplication? Right, so much faster it is. Yeah. So who here is learning this for the first time? Who here is looking at split and Gould multiplication for the first time? Good. Again, this is something that you don't have to even use paper and pencil for. Once you understand it, it's just practicing, like reading. You can't write to read, right? You read to read. So with that, up next, let's try this out. Let's try this here. Honestly, I didn't think this was possible. Well, that's what I'm here for, to make dreams come true. So next up, we're going to be looking at the 7 times the 19, but we're going to be looking at this in, again, an easier way. Everybody, is it also true that 19 is really, really close to 20? Isn't that true? Yeah, so here's another way to think about mental math. You can think about multiplication mental math as forward or backwards. You can split and glue, or you can overdo and pay back, or estimate and compensate is what I officially call it. I call it estimation and compensation, but some people like to call it overpaying and then paying back, or over borrowing and paying back, or whatever. But here's how you do it. So let me just move this over here because I don't like you. And then 7 times 19. Everybody think of it like this. Let me use blue. 7 times 20 minus 1. Isn't it true that 19 is the same as 20 minus 1? Isn't that true? Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do 7 times 20. 7 times 20 is what? 7 times 20 is going to be, well, 7 times 2 is 14. So 7 times 20 is 140. Exactly. 140. And then over here, what do I see? I got 7 times 1. Oh, man, that's so tough. What's 7 times 1? Oh, 7, duh. And since we're subtracting, you're going to keep subtracting. Remember that is subtracting, so keep subtracting. Alrighty, what's 140 minus 7? What's 140 minus 7? Same deal, 133. 133. Boom. So I really want you to get, I really want y'all to keep seeing mental math again as a language, part of a language. It's very fluid. As long as you follow the same basic principles and rules, you can go ahead and do with it whatever you want, man. You can do whatever you want. You can go forward, you can go backwards, you can start with this digit or that digit. Again, as long as you understand the rule set, you're good. Just like as long as you understand the language that you're speaking, you can say whatever you want, depending on what country you live in and time of day. But with that said, let's go ahead and move forward here and let's try some of these problems out. Who here is ready to try out some mental math here? I didn't say those countries, y'all did. So with that, let me go ahead here and pull this up now. And let me pull up multiplication here. All right, and now we're gonna go ahead and take that. Let's just keep it positive for right now and let's dial it up. Let's give y'all some bigger, quote, bigger numbers here that we can try out. And I'll just go ahead and pull up, let's go and pull up 30 here. I wish it would give me a minimum number that I can actually import here, but no worries. So I'm going to take out 40 of these. And I'm going to put up 40 more of the tougher ones. Okay, 40 more there. All right, great. So let me go ahead and print this out, everybody, and I'm going to bring this over into my iPad, and we're good to go. Because this here is going to be a lot of fun. Once you actually get the hang of it, I'm telling you, man, it's nice. Okay, there that is, and we're good. And sharing, and here we go. Cool. Okay, let's go and try this one out now. Notability, bring it in, boom. Let's go. So here we are, my party people. Let's go ahead and get this done. Let's take a look at some of these reasonable ones. Let me go ahead and start off with this one over here. 29 times 8. I want you guys to try this one out. I'm going to give you, let me change this timer here. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do this. All right, I'm only giving you 30 seconds. Go. 29 times 8. Do it in your head. Do it on paper. Go. Yeah, no, that's right, Armani. We're going to start this off here. We're going to start this off. Story, close. Close, not quite. Three, two, one. Answers. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Come on. Love the participation so far. Loving it, loving it. Armani forgot how. Hey, no worries. Again, admit it. Be honest about it. That's what I'm here for. I got you. 232, the majority consents on. Okay, cool. Let's try it out. So 29 times 8. Now, before we begin, let me ask you this. Who here split it up and who here turned this into a subtraction problem? So who here did addition? Who here did subtraction, basically? Who here tried addition? Who here tried subtraction? And who here just tried to go ahead and just do it the regular way? Who here just said, hey, coach, I appreciate you trying to teach me, but I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. Okay, some of y'all tried to do addition for the most part. Some of y'all split it, did it another way. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. So here's how we can think of it, everybody. We can think of it like this. 29, you can split that up as 20 plus 9. And once you have the 20 plus 9, when you multiply, what's going to happen is you're going to take 20 times 8, and you'll also do 9 times 8. That's what's going to happen. And so help me out, everybody. Let's start with the 20 times 8. Everybody, what's 20 times 8? What's 20 times 8? 160. Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be 160. And then if we think about 9 times 8, everybody, what's 9 times 8? What's 9 times 8? 72. Right on. And so again, this is the idea of mental math. You can turn something as intimidating as 29 times 8. You can turn 29 times 8 into 160 plus 72. Everybody, what are you more comfortable with? Are you more comfortable looking at the 29 times 8? Or are you more comfortable looking at 160 plus 72? Which one are you more comfortable with? Right, as expected, right? We are more acclimated to deal with addition straight up than multiplication, because remember, multiplication is just shortcuts for addition. That's all it is. So it makes sense that you go down to the root 1, the addition, and that makes you more comfortable. That's predictable. Now, I think Itzel had a question. Itzel, your question was, why is it addition? Why is it 20 plus 9? Well, the reason is, Itzel, we're speaking in terms of facts. 29 is the same thing as 20 plus 9. 20 plus 9 is 29, and that's why I wrote it that way. I did not write subtraction because 20 minus 9 is 11, not 29. So you want to, again, speak in a matter of fact and go that way. Gotcha. So now the other way. The other way that some folks, I got you, no problem. So the other way that some folks might look at this, and again, this is a slightly more advanced way, but it's just mental math all the same. Another way that you can look at this is by saying, hey, let me do this, 29 times 8. Some of us might be more keen to look at this as 30 minus 1. Who tried it this way? Right on. So with that, this might be a little easier for us because, again, when we're dealing with numbers that are very close to the next digit, so 29 being very close to 30, take advantage of the convenience. Help me out, everybody. 30 times 8, what's that going to give us? Go. Exactly, 240. 240, litter that down the road. There we go. So that's going to be 240. And then, again, the hardest question I will ask you all day. This is for your kindergarten diploma. What is 1 times 8? David, please get this right. David, I knew you were going to clown around, man. I knew it. I knew it. You haven't got to say mic check 1 2 1 2 all day long, and it's cooped you up. I know. So here, you have a 1 times 8. That's going to give you a. Yep, I called you out, bud. So with that, we got 1 times 8 is going to be 8. So we have 240 minus 8. Yeah, John, exactly. Exactly. You would subtract the 8. And so here we have 240 minus 8. Everybody, what's that going to be? What's that going to be? Yep, 232. Boom. And so be happy to know that everybody in this class tonight has graduated kindergarten with the exception of David. David, I'm kidding. David's one of the smarter kids. He's just been joking around all day long. So with that, there's 232. Nah, David's good. David's good. So with that, there we are. Now let's take a look at 34 times 7. I want to give you guys the opportunity to try this one out. And what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to make this a little more fair. Let me go to this page here. And here's what we'll do. All right, so there's the 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this timer up here and let you guys get to it. So 2 minutes, 30 seconds starting now. So please feel free. Use handwritten work to check it to make sure you're good. But I would really, really implore you to try mental math first. Split it up into the 2 digits, 7 times 30, 7 times 4, add them together. With the 18 times 5, 10 times 5, 8 times 5, add them together. You're going to see that this is going to give you a really good opportunity to really see how you can speed things up. Because remember, it's not about getting it right. It's about doing the little things exceptionally well. So go ahead, try it out, and then we'll be back in about 1:55. 34 times 7. One way to think about this one, I got you, Jules. One way to think about this one is here, that's 30 times 7 and 4 times 7. And so when you look at that, let me move this down. When you look at this, we have 210. And over here, we have 28. And so 210 plus 28, that's going to give us 238, and we're done. Again, in our heads, we can get that done very quickly. Very quickly. Give that yurt if you got that. There you go, Excel. There we go. You see? Again, just keep thinking about the process here. Next up, we've got ourselves 18 times 5. So again, 18 times 5, we can think of that as, hey, we've got ourselves 10 plus 8. Both of those times 5. 10 and 8 times 5. Because 18, again, is 10 and 8. So 10 times 8, or 10 times 5, excuse me, and 5 times, I knew I made a mistake for a second there. But yeah, so here, bam, 10 times 5, that's 50. 8 times 5, that's 40. And that becomes 90. Booyah. Another way you can think of it, everybody, is if you're, if you want to see it this way, well, 20 times 5 is 100. So you have to take away 2 of those 5s. 2 of 5 is 10. 2 times 5 is 10. 100 minus 10 is 90. Another way to think about it. Just another way to think about it. Next up, $12.50 times 6. Who here avoided that one specifically? Who here avoided that one specifically? Okay, I'm not calling you out. No, I'm not calling anybody out. Trust me, if I was calling somebody out, I'd make my face first. So here, we got 1250 times 6. Here's how we can think of it, everybody. What's 12 times 6? Or better yet, what's 10 times 6? Yeah, there we go. Like we can break it down, everybody. We can break it down. Again, give yourself the opportunity to see it in an easier way. We have to give yourselves the opportunity to see it in that way. So 1250 times 6, you can think of it as, well, I got $10, I got $2, and I got 50 cents. I can think of it in that way because that's going to be a little easier for me to cope with. Because here, I got myself 10 times 6, that's 60. I got myself over here 2 times 6, which is 12. And then over here, everybody, the decimal of 0.5 is the same thing as saying half. 50 cents is half of a dollar, right? 50 cents is half. You're literally multiplying by half. Everybody, what's half of 6? What's half of 6? 3. That's one way you can think about it. Or you can look at it as 50 cents times 6. 50 cents, a dollar. 150, $2, $2.50, $3. If you needed to use your fingers. If you do that in front of me, I'll chop them off. But yeah, so that'll be 3. And there you have it. So now you have yourself 60 plus 12 plus 3, that's 75. Done. Done. Excel. Oh, well, Excel, the finger counting thing, that is on the opposite end of the spectrum for mental math proficiency, that's how it's pretty much stated online. But long story short, the purpose of mental math is to take away the physical action and simply keep it all up in here. Because when you keep it all up in here, just like I said earlier, you can think faster than you can write. You can think faster than you can use your fingers to guide you. You can think faster than you can take any action at all. So the more we can keep it in the mental realm and not that physical realm, that's the way that we're going to get faster. Okay? That's how we're going to get faster. So here, if we're confusing the 3, Priscilla, then that means that we need to focus on handling decimals. So decimal operations, I have a video on that on the website in the program. Check that out. So here, 49 times 50. Everybody, 49 times 50. Did anybody here try to do 50 times 40 and 50 times 9? Who tried that? Who did that? Who said, hey, let me go ahead and look at this as 40 plus 9 times 50. Right? Hey, that's valid. That's valid. I mean, I would have been proud of you. Very proud of you. Because if you look at it this way, you got 40 times 50. 4 times 5 is 20. Bring those 2 zeros. So that's 2,000. Okay. Then we have ourselves 9 times 50. 9 times 50, 9 times 5 is 45. Bring that 0, that's 450. Cool. And you're good. And that would end up being 2,450. Nice and easy. Right on. There you go. I'm starting to see people that, again, we're a little apprehensive at first, showing some tenacity, and that's what we're here for. Good stuff. Now, I love it. So moving over here now, let me show you just one other way to do this. Then I'm going to give you the answers to these other ones. And then from there, if you are interested in the program, again, I'm going to give you a discount code here for being in class today as a thank you. And that discount code now runs lifetime on subscription, and it's $50 off for the full year. Long story short, you can get a full year of my program for less than a month anywhere else. So stick around for that. I'm going to go over that in just a few moments. So here we go. Another way that you can do this one, the 49 times 50. Everybody, isn't it true that 49 is really, really, really close to 50? Right, very close. Exactly. So why don't we do ourselves a favor here? Let's do ourselves a favor and let's go ahead and change this up. So let me move this. Okay, so just move this over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this as 50 minus 1. That's what 49 is, right? 50 minus 1 is 49, and I'm multiplying that by 50. So here's how much easier this can become if you're using this rule. 50 times 50, well, 5 times 5 is 25. The 0, 0 makes that 2,500. Sounds good. Okay, 2,500. You got to keep that same operation, that's subtraction. So you're going to subtract. What's 1 times 50? Okay, that's going to be 50. Okay, sounds good. That's some hard math right there. Okay, cool. So 2,500 minus 50. Well, 500 minus 50 is 450. So the answer has to be 2,450. Ah, look at that. The number of wows never ceases to amaze me in the chat box. I love seeing that. Like, I love seeing that you guys are having those light bulb moments, but remember, it's not about getting jacked up here in this class and being like, yeah, I got this. We have to practice beyond the class. If you don't practice beyond the class, then this is all for nothing, okay? So let me give you the answers to these questions here. Again, I would use the technique for the 100 here for 99. You got 99 times 15. Who the hell wants to do that? Just go ahead and make that 100 minus 1, all of that times 15. Because what that's going to become, that's going to become right here, 1,500. That's going to be 15, excuse me. So 1,500 minus 15, just do 1,500 minus 10. So 1,490 minus 5, 1,485, and we're done. So look at that. You can do a problem that honestly looks like came through the gates of a math teacher who is probably scorned and jaded for life, and she wanted to torture you with it. And you can look her in the face and say, not today, boy, and you're good. And you're good. But again, we have to think of it in that creative way. What do we have in front of us? What convenience can we notice? So let me give you the other answers here because it is 8 o'clock. I got y'all. 27 times 6. I'm going to do the shorthand way. This becomes 120 plus 42, becoming 142, or excuse me, 162, excuse me there, 162. Next, 40 times 15. 40 times 15, that's the same as saying 40 times 10 and 40 times 5. Adding those together, that's 400, that's 200, that becomes 600. Again, it happens in your head. Next, we have 2213 times 5. Well, I'm going to treat this as 20 times 5, 2 times 5, then you have 13 cents times 5, that's 65 cents. But even if you didn't know that, that would be 0.5 right there, 50 cents plus 15 cents. And if you wanted to think of it in that light, then you just go from left to right over here, and you're good to go. 100 plus 10, 110. 110 and 50 cents, 110 and 65 cents, right there. And you're good. and you are good. No, it's so. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. So again, for those of y'all that are here and you really liked what you saw and you're interested in the full program, I got you. Just stick around for just 5 minutes. I'll go ahead and just be direct. I'll get to the point, and we will provide the link and let you do it. So with that said, boom, boom, boom. How do y'all feel right now? Which one surprised you more? Addition, subtraction, or the multiplication part? Which one surprised you more? And actually, all of them. Multiplication for sure, multiplication, both, the money, right? Again, you see how the mental math can apply to decimals too. Yeah, it's the same deal, man. It's the same story, it's the same language. Adding, subtracting, multiplication. There we go. Okay, cool.